So we've been heading in this northerly direction. Port's coming up on our starboard side. The sun is just painting everything this golden orange. It's just delightful. It's very calming and warm and tranquil on the sea today. What an opportunity for me to pass the mic to Jan and give us a little taste of history. Now, this is a big deal to me because despite how many people live in Churchill, there's always stories about different things like the Ithaca and Miss Piggy, which is a plane wreck. And it's really hard to know which of the 5 stories you hear locally is true. Now, what Jan did is she took it upon herself to figure out what's behind the Graham Bell, which is that derelict boat that you see when we are in the dock area when I pull the boat out. I've had the same curiosity. I've asked around, got a lot of different stories. Yay, now we're going to find the true answer. I can't wait. So here we go. Thank you, Jan. This is a treat for me.
Good evening, one and all. Well, I'm about to disclose and reveal a secret that has been 87 years old. of the Graham Bell. It's a poor old tugboat now, but it's made of steel and it's lasted. So I'm going to start with, in 1928, the Graham Bell was commissioned by the Deputy Minister for Railways in the Canada government. It was 100 foot long, 29 feet wide, and 12 feet deep. It was a tugboat to be run on coal because they knew somewhere in Churchill they could find coal, and it would be cheaper than bringing it in by boat. So the reason why this tugboat was commissioned was the building of the Hudson Bay Railway was about to start its journey towards Churchill. And the building of the port was to begin. Also, the two together. So this tugboat was commissioned to work the harbour where we are now. Don't go out in the bay. Stay in here and do all the work its hull off. It was to look after the big boats and the little boats, the dredging, all that kind of stuff. And remember, it only works 3 months a year. Right, so anyway, we go on while that's being built in Quebec. Right, the Department of Railways and Canals has started the building of the Hudson Bay Railway at the new point down near, is it Nelson River? Yeah, Nelson River. Right. They had this super person, public servant. He was their number one boy. He was employed by them for 37 years as a finance controller. He knew all the tricks of the trade, how to build a railway, how to mend a railway, how to finance a railway, make it viable. And everybody was building railways, and he went there and everywhere to fix up their railways. So they knew by putting him on this job to build the Hudson Bay Railway, they'd get the job done real quick. Now, he was the Deputy Minister for Railways and Canals. Back just before he became Minister, he joined the war when he was a young lad as a finance controller, still working for them, and become a major in the 43rd 207th Battalion. But the government said, no, you can't go. Stopped him from going to war. We need you to fix railways. Out there, you can't go. You can't go. So what did he do? He resigned from the war, from the 43 Battalion, and got stuck into work again. He was a workaholic, right? He couldn't care less about the workers because he knew he had a good crew under him. He let them get all the history and all the pats on the back, and he was a silent achiever. Do you know what a silent? Yes, right. So, and yeah. So in 1928, the beginning of 1928, things did a turnaround. He hired 5,000 men to build the railway, right? Because he wanted it finished in March 1929. It was his railway, and it was going to be his fort also. He drew up specifications and instructions for the fort in advance, but the main concern was the railway. So he kept reporting to the media that my railway is going to be finished on time, my port is going to be finished on time, and things are looking good. The media loved him, as the Canadian government loved him. However, on the 23rd of November, the Deputy Minister for Railways had a real bad turn. Newspaper headlines, bad turn, bad turn. He was ordered home to go home, from work to go home, ordered. He'd been sick previously, very sick previously, but they let him work on. He wanted to work on. He wanted to finish his railway and his port. Anyway, he went home without an argument. 9 weeks later, our Deputy Minister for Railways and Canals passed away at the age of 54 and a bout of typhoid fever. So, unfortunately and sadly, he didn't see his railway finished in March. He died in January 1929. He didn't see his port finished in March 1929. He didn't see his tugboat sail into the harbour where we are today on 6th of August 1929, and he never saw the port of Churchill finished. Right?
You were right on the 6th of August.
Eh?
You were here on the 6th of August this year.
Yeah. So now I can divulge to you who the Deputy Minister for Railways and Canals is. None other than Graham Bell, the same name that appears on the tugboat. The tugboat was named after him right at the very beginning of his commission. So that's the story. Our Graham Bell was building the port and the railways. Alexander Graham Bell was tinkering with telephones. He had nothing to do with our mate. So there you have it. So you're the first to know who was Graham Bell and why the Graham Bell was commissioned.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Just one other point. In 1932, Graham Bell piloted the Pennyworth out of the river with the very first load of grain through the gateway to the Arctic. And that's why Churchill was put here to be the gateway to the Arctic. He followed that ship by the Unsworth, carried the second grain. So that's how it all began. The railway was delivering grain, the ships were taking it, and that Graham Bell, the tugboat, was working its hull off. 3 months a year, and it retired in 1962. And it was cut down in between 1962 and 73. Only ever had one registered owner, and that was the Transport Department of the Canadian government, who had various departments within that department. So that's, there you go.
I just want to say that is the most well thought through and clear, precise, easy to understand. And I really appreciated that little look in history in a place that I call home. 87 years of history. And I know we had beautiful whales to complement that lovely walk back in time regarding the tugboat, the Graham Bell, that worked right in these waters that we are now. So what a treat. Thank you, Jan. Much appreciated. I was. Gosh, that's a treasure right there. Oh my God! There it is. Wow! There it is. Oh my goodness! Wow! Absolutely not. We need to have like a plaque with information on it. Yeah, well, I reckon so, because it's more important that you play places than it is a person. No, I know. Yeah, I know. It's this. It's so special. Body. So what it is, because someone in Churchill in 2011, and I wanted to put it on the plane, see themselves, you know, you go through towns like where I live, and there's historical buildings, and there's information about it. And there should be one at the train station. There should be one. There will every there should be one at you know, just probably a trading company maybe. But this should have one. This one thing when they do the map of the hotel, that hold an old it's not enough to be called and honored with this Churchill. It wasn't initially called Churchill Place, Manitoba Place. Yeah, Manitoba and on 2nd Street. See, with a video, a left, see that street? Yeah. There on Delta Hill, that's where the apartment of our wife. And he did so that's the north. The court has two fronts to the back. You know that? No, two fronts. This is the front where we live. Behind is where he got. Behind comes in the front of the house. And behind the end. And by the way, the hello, was built in 1930, 1500 men. The Department of Railways is now contracted it out. Again, you know what that was built in. Right? Yeah. And they come in. Photo of me next to Graham Bell. I want these guys. Stopping him to go into war, they do that. And when he died, they buried him
And on his neck goes after the minister railway to so all day also so it's we wasn't just a simple plan building. We had a reputation. And funny enough, the guy, like when the port thing, one there was two, which they spoke to the guy and told them following the lake that you didn't get a railway.
Jan, this is X-ray eye. Did you take the train to Churchill? It's less rolling, the train or the Beluga boat? We've got a very calm day, there's no rolling going on. Have you ever taken the train?
Are you rolling backwards and forwards at this time or eating popcorn?
Is that what people do? They eat popcorn and then watch the Beluga boat?
No, I didn't take the train. I took the plane. But maybe not again unless they put an extra plane on. I was delayed a day.
Oh, you were?
Because of the fog, yeah. And I just love being out here looking at the belugas. Hard to photograph, but I've enjoyed every bit of it. A memory I won't forget. Hope this answers your question, sweetie.
We're going to take, you can let them know that we're going to take a look at the Graham Bell while it's still got the sun.
All right. While it's still got the sun, Hayley's going to take us in and show you the Graham Bell. Do you want those two? You can have that if you want.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah. I've got 4 of them.
It's okay.
We're just talking. Girls talk.
show them the photo. Yeah, hold it up.
Are you winking, camera?
I just want you to hold it. I have to lift up. Yeah, hold on. Take a photo of it. Oh, the fun! There isn't around you, but there at the back. There's only one that's in there. Yeah, what's the bird there? You're not there. Oh, she's still in the sun. That's what I wanted. Oh, the graham bell's got the snap and ring above it. It's all made of steel. Yeah. Well, like I said, graham bell had the idea of you where we could get some coal up here. But it was all financial. But it paid off. Okay. No? We didn't. Well, wow. But this is not talking about the road, by the way. So, two sides of the story, right? You've got the workers in there, side, side, oh, it's a big, other servants, word, in their diary, in their diary. And yet there was no record. That's why. Hi. I'm great. You? Excellent. Good. Yeah. I bet. Eh? What was going on? Is that right? In Button Bay? Yeah. Oh, no way. That's good. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Good on ya. Oh, I bet you are. Oh, that sounds amazing. Now, what time did you ring your Oh, just gotta give it a ring. Okay. Blue band? Green. Oh, green band with the blue square on the side? Oh, we might just need to pick up a school fund. Come out for a last one. Are you sure? Oh my God. Yes. There's a lot of photos in my down there with you. Anyone wants to blow alcohol? Yeah, yeah. No, but I want to see, yeah. Oh, I'm going to tell everybody. Oh, wow. I can't believe that. The day that Jan is out with me, the sun is just saturating the beautiful Granville tugboat, making it just as beautiful as the day it was first launched, I think. The moon is above it, nearly a full moon. Wow. We're just going to pop out and enjoy a little bit more of the sunset before we head on in. Jan has kindly given me a copy of the information that she just provided us on the mic. And as a guide, this is really awesome. This is a fantastic piece of information that I am going to share. Every time I have guests in Churchill for polar bear season, I'm going to mention my dear friend Jan and our lovely day on the Beluga boat and her historical research and findings after 87 years of the history of the Granville. Wow, what a treat. I just need to concentrate here as Seanorth is coming in to port. What a beautiful colour on. Even the port looks beautiful in this light. Thank you, Jan. That's a treat, a treasure. It's certainly a treasure. That will be added to my guiding treasure box. So it's just I'm still getting more history from Jan here and images of what this area at Cape Mary used to look like with all the buildings that once housed the men of building. Wow. Anyway, distracted though. I'm trying to still get some belugas on the underwater cam. We've got the sun setting. It is time for us to go in. I need some light to get this lovely boat out of the water and safely back into the Frontiers North workshop, Tundra Buggy Garage there. Whales on our stern. What a beautiful day it has been on the water. Fabulous company, learning lots. I'm hoping Jan enjoyed her little time on the beluga boat. Maybe I'll hand the mic to her to finish off. Tomorrow morning, remember, I'm switching to a morning high tide. We're losing light. If I go out tomorrow night, I'll only be able to be out for 2.5 hours or so. So I'm gonna, if we did the evening high tide, so I'm gonna come out in the morning. So I'm gonna be on the water at 6:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. I know that doesn't work for some of you, but just remember, as the days progress, we will be going out later. I know the first couple of days, though, it's 6:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. I know it's 4:30 Pacific Daylight Time. I know I won't see some of you, but there we go. We've got nearly a full moon over the port. It's so pretty on the water. And tonight will be a Northern Lights night. Check the Northern Studies Centre cam, Jan is telling me, because they have been working on it a little bit, and I think, hopefully it's up and running so you can see the Northern Lights. Tonight is going to be the night because the sky is so clear. We're hoping. All right, well, I'll keep the underwater cam down for a little bit longer and then heading back to port slowly. The last few whales are playing with us, following us, as they delightfully have done for all of the time on the water. We're so lucky. So what do you say, Jan? Have you had fun?
Oh, yes. More than fun. I really enjoyed it. And I have to thank once again that lady from Wisconsin and all my followers. And thank you. It was such a great day, and I hope you enjoyed everything. Okay, I'm going to say, see you later, mate.
See you later, mate. She's talking my language. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, cam operators. You're all big stars in my eyes. Thank you. got the graham bell when it's still lit up by the sun. Paperwork, I don't want to be. Okay. Wow, well, you did a. How long did it take you to get this? Oh. So, it took a couple of tries.
Yeah, and I used what I 2008, 2020, I used my left. They did that. The way so I opened up into the center.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I don't tie up. I So the best case scenario is that it's not here. I'm going to drop you off.
Yeah,
I'm going to put the boat on the trailer.
yeah,
You just want to wait for you to,
yeah.
and I will. I'll drive you home. Yep. I'll just have to stop. Gorgeous. Better than watching it through the webcam.
Yeah, much better.
Is there a spot for me that I can drop dear Jan off? Okay. Oh, great. Luxury, and then she's getting picked up, I think. That Graham Bell.
Not Alexander Graham Bell.
When was what year was it decommissioned?
Decommissioned 1973.
What year did they pull it out of the water? Out of service?
1973.
Do you know the story about when the military tried to float it and what happened there? I bet you don't know that one.
That didn't come into this history.
Yeah, it didn't.
I don't know if you got the place of the Graham Bell.
Well, that's the Green Bell, right?
Yeah.
So
Hi, we've
So-
just landed at the dock. It's Haley with Jan. You know, if she doesn't mind, she can ride along with me. I just have to drop the boat off. So, yeah, what would you like? Would you like to? Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Okay. No hurry. Thank you. Bye.
so
That would have been 1939, I should imagine.
no, that was actually in 1998. So yeah, so they tried to float the Grey Bell because they were going to go and sink it out in the bay, right? To get rid of it.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing was they brought in the Canadian forces, and they had a 1 week they had a 1 week
Watch that
Um,
butt on my boat.
they had a 1 week window to float the Graham Bell.
Yeah.
So what the military did was, you'll see there's holes all along the side here. What they did was they drilled holes in it, and then they ran pipes through it. So then they brought the flexi floats over to try and use the other means of flotation to float the Graham Bell. But it wasn't enough flotation to float her because she's so heavy. So they had 2 days left. They had 3 days left. Sorry, in their 1 week kind of permit to move it.
Yeah.
So on the first or the third day, they called in.
1998.
That was 98, 97, something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Nothing to do with Omnitrack.
nothing to do with Omnitrax.
Tracks.
No,
Right,
no.
yeah.
But what happened was they couldn't get it to float. So they called in a local guy by the name of Merv the Mover. We call him Merv the Mover. Merv came in and said, "You guys are all doing it wrong." So he came in here and he filled it with cement.
Yeah.
And then he put a 4-inch water pump on it. Boom! It popped to the surface. And then they brought one of the tugs up, but the wind picked up, and you got like 60, I think it was like 60 or 70 kilometer an hour winds. So obviously you couldn't take a displacement hull tug out.
Yeah.
So they said, "Okay, we can't do it today." The next day, same thing. She popped to the surface. Merv had it floating. Came to the surface between Merv and the military. Brought the tug up. High winds again. They had to cancel it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry, I'm just saying you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I know. And popped to the surface and couldn't go out because of the high winds.
Yeah.
And then it's been sitting there. She's been there ever since. So.
Yeah, and in 2011, 21st of June, someone from your council wanted to put it on the train and send it down south to be recycled, like in the scrap metal, but it costs too much. So
Yeah, like everything. And the sad thing is, there isn't a whole lot of metal. It's not worth anything. That metal's rotted right through, right?
Well, it's steel.
Mm.
It wouldn't be,
But it wouldn't be worth a whole lot anymore because it's so rusted, right?
but I didn't go that far. I only went up to 1973.
Yeah.
When it retired.
There's a beautiful replica that a fella did in Winnipeg
Sit there for a minute.
Yeah.
that I saw, and he did a beautiful job.
She's got some good photos.
And he built it out of popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
He made it out of popsicle sticks, and he did a beautiful job. He had all the brass trim around it, like, 'cause it was all brass trimmed around the bezels. It had all the hand woven. He made it out of, I forget what it was, but he had a little rope, and he hand wove the rope exactly how the bumpers were when she was getting the brass stack. Yeah, he did a really good job. A beautiful
I've asked
replica.
around for years. Nobody knew anything about it. They all tried to told us. Somebody said, Alexander Graham Bell was thinking with his telephone, this like Graham Bell was building the railway.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got all,
He was he could build and maintain.
right?
Build and maintain. Yeah.
Okay, so
Brilliant.
Sailor's
oh,
grip.
hang on. This is what we're going to do. You're going to stand on this
Right.
and then onto this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be right here with the other arm.
Yeah,
Now, my dear, I'm going to quickly go grab. Do you have a line on this one?
I got that.
Yeah.
What did Jennifer say?
Jennifer's coming to get you.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand up. We can
She's staying for a whole month, and this is her sixth year here.
Oh, where? That leave that money on Friday night? Just about what? 2 weeks ago?
Where are we at with it?
Oh, yeah.
It's only going to be here for a year. You're so welcome, Jen. What a treat to have a beluga bone.
Fan on board, yeah.
Wow, what a treat. What a nice treat. Aussie and a Kiwi.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to look up the truck. That's going to stay there.